Okay, you guys, I have something I really want to show you that I cannot stop thinking about. These are photos that were recently taken at Alaska's Denali National Park, and I gotta say, they're pretty interesting.
Whoa.
Ooh, that's Sasquatch. There you go.
Phil, are we looking at genuine Sasquatch prints here?
You know I'm not gonna go that far, but what I will say is that they are unusual. Initially, I thought, okay, it could be bear, but bears have 5 toe pads. This looks more like 3 or 4. Also, it looks like something that's walking on 2 legs, not 4 legs. So based on these images, this is not something I can identify.
Because it's a Sasquatch.
Did the National Park weigh in on this?
They did, and they agreed. It does look like something walking on 2 legs, but they also said it could be a wolf whose hind foot stepped in the exact same spot as the front foot. But then again, they didn't actually go there to investigate it.
And you'd like to?
I've already started. And the more I research this, the more I think we need to get there now while the evidence is hot. Because considering Alaska's vast wilderness, there could be something big out there waiting to be found.
This is a really compelling case, not just because of this evidence. When it comes to legends of unknown creatures in Alaska, there is more mythology there than anywhere else in the country.
Alaska, the last frontier. A land shrouded in mystery that has long beckoned rugged explorers into its vast, punishing, and mostly unexplored wilderness. Today, civilization has only encroached into around 250 of Alaska's almost 665,000 square miles, leaving an area about twice the size of Texas completely uninhabited. It's not just the wilderness that's dangerous here. It's the wildlife. Grizzly bears, Arctic wolves, and even the gargantuan moose all pose a threat to humans unlucky enough to cross their paths. But some believe the most dangerous creature of them all is one that is yet to be discovered: the Alaskan Sasquatch. Reported encounters with the creature date back to 1899, when U.S. Army Captain W.R. Abercrombie leads an expedition into Alaska during the Klondike Gold Rush. In his report, Abercrombie includes an encounter with a miner who claims that his son has been killed by a hairy beast he describes as a demon. Most infamously, there's also the case of Portlock, a village on the Kenai Peninsula. The once bustling fishing and canning community is hastily abandoned in the 1940s after a string of shocking disappearances and savage attacks, reportedly perpetrated by a large, hairy, man-like creature. Indigenous legends go back even further. Some native southwestern Alaskans warn children not to venture alone into the forest, lest they fall prey to the Urayuli, or hairy man, a legendary beast said to be taller than a bear, with shaggy fur, a strange call, and a penchant for punishing disobedient kids. While the Inuit people of northern Alaska warn of the Tunit, a giant man-like beast that once peacefully coexisted with humans. Today, lifelong Alaskans and tourists alike continue to report harrowing encounters with huge, humanoid, and often hairy creatures. In the fall of 2021, one witness reports that his dog is killed by a possible Sasquatch near Susitna Creek. Early in 2023, a witness in Copper Valley claims to see a furry bipedal giant cross the highway. And in just the last few weeks, an oyster farmer from Homer has come forward with tales of a disturbing encounter in Kachemak Bay. Are these accounts a case of ancient folklore casting a very long shadow? Or could there be an undiscovered, unfathomably violent creature roaming the brutal Alaskan wilderness?
The evidence and sightings are so intriguing, I just don't think we can pass this one by.
Look at this guy, so enthusiastic about this.
I love this too. I mean, so many indigenous tribes in Alaska have Sasquatch-like legends that there's gotta be something to this.
Okay, I don't want to snow on anybody's subarctic parade here, but just in terms of the eyewitness reports, a big, shaggy, aggressive creature, couldn't this just be a bear? I mean, bears can't stand on 2 legs, right?
They absolutely can stand on 2 legs, but they can't walk long distances on 2 legs. I'm not saying it's Sasquatch. I'm saying we need to go there to investigate. And I already lined up our first witness, and get this, he swears that he just had a close encounter with a Sasquatch.
Okay, amazing. So go up there, meet this eyewitness, see what you can find out. I'll look into some of the other recent reports here, and you guys stay safe, especially considering you're hunting a monster that could be hunting you.
Yeah.
We'll try.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a look.
Nothing's on my left shoulder. What are you talking about?
I see a light. I see somebody walking.
Oh, who is that handsome young man?
Yes, that is a much younger version of me.
Basically, yeah.
And I am out in the woods here, and we are doing an EVP session. This is part of a paranormal investigation.
There's a light. What did you see?
The light.
And I'm doing an isolation session here, and I'm about to trade out with someone who I think will be familiar to you.
30 minutes.
It is
Oh, yeah, Evan. Okay.
Evan B. Stone, our longtime director of photography here.
Yeah, Evan, go for Josh at base camp.
This may sound really weird, but I'm hearing some,
Kind of like female voices, but they're kind of barking.
like, from different parts of the forest.
Copy that. Just stay with it.
Things are about to get very, very strange. Watch this.
Oh. So what happened right then?
He gets blown back by some unseen, unknown force.
Was he okay?
Yes and no. I mean, he got out of there in one piece, but he was legitimately shaken up. I mean, crying. He was a mess.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So then where exactly were you guys when this happened?
Transylvania.
Oh, okay.
This is in Romania. This is a place called the Hoia Baciu forest. It is a notorious paranormal hotspot. It is the next place I want you to investigate, and it is a place that I will never, ever forget.
Nestled in the Carpathian Mountains, Transylvania is known for its mysterious castles and dark folklore. Most notably, of course, the legend of Count Dracula. Believed to be based on the real-life Vlad the Impaler, a sadistic 15th century prince. But Vlad is just the tip of a very bloody paranormal lineage. While pop culture vampires are most commonly associated with Romanian moroi, local lore also swirls around the undead, zombie-like terrors of the strigoi. Choose your horror, and it has origins in Romania. Tales of these frightening creatures have evolved over Transylvania's very long and sometimes violent history. Fought over by the Romans, Mongols, Ottomans, Germans, and Hungarians, it is said the land of Transylvania is soaked in the blood of conflict. Many believe all this hostility has led to strange and dark phenomena. Legends of witches, monsters, and spirits, all said to stalk Transylvania's sprawling wilderness. And the Hoia Baciu forest is said to be the most horrific of them all. The forest's gnarled trees twist into otherworldly shapes unlike anywhere else in the country. Legend has it that's because the entire forest is cursed. For generations, there have been reports of disturbing sounds and even sightings of shadow people. Many believe the secret to solving these mysteries resides in an area of the forest called the Rotunda, where trees are reportedly unable to grow. It's here at the Rotunda where our disturbing experiences happened 15 years ago. The horrors of Hoia have been stuck in my mind, leaving me obsessed with a single question. Is this forest truly haunted?
You know how you two are always asking me to send you someplace warm and tropical?
Yes.
This is not that. I'm sending you to one of the most brutal and remote places in America to investigate terrifying paranormal phenomena in the dead of winter.
Can't it just be winter?
No, dead feels very appropriate when discussing the Uinta Basin in northeastern Utah. This is perhaps the most infamous paranormal hotspot in America. UFOs, cattle mutilations, bizarre energies, cryptids, you name it, and it is reported in the basin. The locals call it the high strangeness. And would you like to guess when it hits peak strange?
We're gonna need our snowshoes, aren't we?
Yes, you definitely are, because there has been a huge uptick of unexplained activity in the basin this winter, with a spectrum of truly bizarre events.
5 million acres across 7,000 square miles, roughly the size of New Jersey. The Uinta Basin is located in northeastern Utah along the border with Colorado. Strange phenomena are first reported here in 1911, when Uinta residents become terrified by thunderous explosions below the ground, despite the fact the basin is not on any active fault line. Reports of subterranean sounds and energies continue and are joined by reports from above. Starting in the 1950s, sightings of UFOs become so widespread that Uinta is christened by the press as UFO Valley. But it's what's said to walk the basin that's arguably the weirdest of all. The legendary skinwalker. Said to be a Navajo witch who has shapeshifted into a malicious animal of their choosing. Skinwalkers are frequently reported in Uinta, most often described as a monstrous wolf. Today, this area is a hub for natural gas and oil fields, with thousands of seasonal workers flooding into the basin and reporting a slew of strange new sightings, particularly in winter. And this winter has been the weirdest yet, with reports of UFOs, abnormal energy, and most disturbingly, a gas worker who says he's just had a terrifying encounter with what he believes was a skinwalker. Is something unbelievable happening in Uinta? It's the dead of night in the abandoned Eloise Asylum outside Detroit, Michigan, and we're in the midst of an unforgettable investigation. We came to probe reports of escalating paranormal activity inside this former psychiatric hospital.
If you weren't welcome in society, this is where they put you.
We learned Eloise's owner, John Hambrick, and his daughter, Yvonne, believe they've been physically attacked by malevolent entities.
When I used to come up here, I used to get choked.
I'm sorry, choked?
This is something that happens on the 5th floor, typically just 2 women. We have another entity here known as the creeper. It creeps on the ceiling, it runs up the walls.
And as soon as we began our own investigation, the activity was off the charts.
Oh my God, right there.
What?
There was a woman right there.
A mysterious noise led us into an abandoned elevator shaft, where more phantom sounds soon followed.
What is going on here? It sounded like it came from right here.
But then, in an isolation session, the investigation took a terrifying turn, putting Jess in physical danger.
Oh, God.
Go.
Something just scratched the out of my neck.
It's really red.
As we scoured the halls for an explanation for Jess's injury, we continued to photograph every corner of Eloise. Now, as we review the photos, we see that we've captured an astounding sight.
What is that?
Oh.
What is that?
Oh.
What is that? That is a figure. When was the last time the two of you took a trip by train?
I took a lovely trip on a bullet train a few years back in Japan.
Yeah, I took a sleeper car across Europe a few summers back. Nothing like falling asleep to the rumble of a train.
Both those sound lovely. Now imagine it's the dead of winter and a blizzard rolls in. Your train gets stuck, snow is piling up past the windows, and you are trapped for days. Food is running low, there's no heat, no power, and then it gets worse.
No Wi-Fi.
That does sound like your nightmare, Jess.
It does.
This is a real nightmare. This is actually a true story, and it goes down as one of the deadliest train disasters in American history. And some say that even now, a century later, the ghosts of that tragedy still haunt the mountains of the Pacific Northwest.
February 22nd, 1910. Winding through the Cascade Mountains, the Great Northern Railway, passenger train number 25, is on an east-west journey from Spokane to Seattle. Aboard are 55 passengers, from commuting businessmen to vacationing families. They expect an uneventful overnight journey. But fate makes the tiny town of Wellington their final stop. Snow begins falling at up to a foot per hour, burying the tracks under 20-foot-high drifts. Snowplows fail, and the train can't move. Days pass, and anxious passengers are running low on food and coal to heat the train cars. A few trek nearly 4 miles through stormy weather and deep snowdrifts to the next outpost. But most have to stay put on the stranded train, unable to make the treacherous hike. 6 days after the train stalled, the snow turns to rain. Everyone celebrates, believing that soon they'll be on their way again. But Mother Nature has other plans. On March 1st, around 1:30 a.m., lightning flashes, thunder cracks. Suddenly, a slab of ice more than a quarter-mile wide roars down the mountainside, turning rocks and trees into high-speed projectiles that slam into the helpless train, hurling it more than 150 feet into the ravine below. It's a mangled heap of metal, ice, splintered trees, and human bodies. Rescue crews managed to pull 23 people to safety, but the rest are dead. The final body isn't recovered until the end of July. The official death toll is 96. The Wellington Disaster remains the deadliest avalanche in U.S. history. Now, over a century later, hikers are reporting paranormal activity around the accident site. People claim to hear ghostly voices, laughter, strange humming and singing, and an eerie, unsettling feeling that overtakes them. One man captured on camera what appears to be an apparition. Reports of unexplained phenomena around the abandoned tracks have escalated over the past few months, so the time to investigate is now, before snow covers the evidence again.